Hello, 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 my fellow psychonauts. Um, Happy New Year. And welcome back to my channel. It is I, Stony Psychonaut here. And, you know, um, just, reflecting on the year, that we've had, everything. Quite the interesting year. Pretty eventful. Um, but yeah, so I had a pretty good New Year. So I guess the thing I would say is Happy New Year. I guess I should have done in question marks. I don't know, but anyway, I think we're in for one wild and crazy, wacky year. I mean, I have no idea what is to come at it. Kind of got a little bit of an idea. I mean, they've kind of been telling us the whole time. So we kind of know kind of what to expect. Um, you know, I mean, there's we've got the drones. I mean, it's been crazy. We've had the drones, we've had the orbs, we've had this, all these different types of UAPs that's been floating around. Um, you know, um, the imminent threat of World War III right around the corner, kind of thing. Just war and, you know, just political nonsense and craziness. This, MAGA and woke, uh, you know, fighting and shit. All the craziness, man. Everybody's, you know, forgetting that we're all on the same planet. That's the biggest issue that I have with everything. Like, I don't care, what, your sexual preference is. I don't care what you identify as. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're a human being. I'm a human being. I identify as a human being. And as a human being, I too am suffering, just like you are. Well, some worse than others. But at the end of the day, we are all, right now, we're pretty much slaves to the system. You know, um, we traded, basically change for, cash. Cash has become king. Cash is what has been ruining this entire world. I mean, look at the greed, man. I mean, this is why we have the corrupt systems that we have, and it's not just in America, it's all over the world. I mean, you know, it's insane. Um, so it's just crazy. But I know one of the things we can probably expect is we're definitely going to end up having some sort of, invasion. I mean, they have been pushing a narrative and pushing an agenda for so long. I mean, they're trying to actively depopulate us. I mean, they got the 2030, you know, um, you know, agenda. They want to, you know, take out over a billion, billions of people. Insane, by 2030 because there's too many people on the planet. How? There's so much land out here that we're not even using, that we could use to house the entire world. I mean, what the hell? But, you know, and I don't know. It's insane. Like, the food problem. There's no shortage of food. In fact, you see all the waste that goes. I mean, look in any you know, you could probably go to any grocery store dumpster, um, and probably find food in there thrown away. I mean, I know this for a fact because, you know, I used to be homeless. I went through that, and yes, I did dumpster dive. I did, I had to eat, so you do what you have to do. But I mean, the food was fresh. I mean, it was still good. There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, I was pulling out like frozen food, like still frozen, out of the dumpster that they had just thrown away. Still up to date, nothing wrong with it. They just, threw it all away. And yeah, like, and all the fruits and vegetables and everything that they throw out, daily, and then there's all the, all the food that they cook, all those like, you go into Food Line or Walmart and you go to the deli section and you buy a chicken or buy a chicken sandwich or some shit, you know, most of that stuff that they don't, well, they freeze it and they do all that kind of stuff and they reuse, but because they can reheat it, and then they take it and they chop it up, and then you have like the little thing that's come in there. It's the last attempt to sell it. By that time, yeah, it's pretty much out of date. And then if it doesn't sell at that point, then they throw it out. But not with everything. It's not always the case. But yeah, but I don't know. There's just all kinds of little things that they do behind the scenes that you just don't know. Like, I mean, I've seen, you know, for myself with my own eyes. Working in restaurants. I worked in restaurants that were roach infested, rat infested, you know, and, I just felt so horrible for here I am working in this place and all these people are coming here eating and I can't tell them that, you know, there's an infestation. It's insane. And I worked at quite a few restaurants like that. Yeah, pretty wild. The things that you, and then the way that the boss men are like, if they drop some food, they pick that shit up, and best believe, you know, you work, yeah, best believe they want you to pick that shit up and use it, if there's extra, you're gonna use the leftovers the next day, you know, until they can't be used anymore. It's, they don't clean shit, like, don't get the ice, it's, yeah. Or, the cones, like you've seen the videos of the, yeah, they don't clean those things, better off not eating it. But yeah, it's pretty wild. But anyway, yeah. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, we were talking about the imminent alien invasion. Which, guess I can, let's go ahead and pull I don't know if we forgot about the Reagan speech, the alien invasion speech, the fake alien invasion speech. So we'll let's go ahead and watch that real quick. Yeah, this is President Reagan. The three famous. Oh, the. No.
I couldn't help at one point in our discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev.
Yeah. So this is the unit to the UN.
We're all God's children, wherever we may live in the world. I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all.
And we're at the edge of World War III.
All human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us.
Right.
But I think that between us, we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond.
He said it several times.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? I think maybe I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular
A new
threat?
world order. Yep. So yeah. So you heard it from President Reagan himself. And there's actually his movie. I bet they don't mention this in the movie. I wonder if they mention about his shocking UFO encounter. Because, he did have his own story, encounter. I bet that's not going to be mentioned in the movie either.
California.
But yeah. And I think this happened around the time as in his acting days, maybe. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm not going to, try to butcher the story. But, yeah, he's claimed to have seen aliens himself. And then here he is talking about, what if there was an alien invasion, then we would all come together and we would all unite. And that would begin our new world order. It's insane. It's so ridiculous. Like, everything's right there in our faces, like, what they're doing. It's going to be the new world order, right? And then we're looking at basically, we're leading to the Matrix if we're not already in a Matrix. We're going to go into a Matrix within a Matrix if we're in a Matrix, which is insane to think about. So I don't know. But this is definitely starting to look more and more like a simulation. Maybe the planet might not be a simulation necessarily, but I would say that the narrative that's being pushed is the simulation. The fake news and all that. I'm not, don't trump me. I'm not saying that, when I say fake news, I'm not doing Trump. I'm not going fake news, it's all fake, no, that's not, that's not, what I'm, meaning. I mean, just, it's all fake news. We know this. I don't even watch the news anymore, period, it's an obvious narrative. You see the videos where, the news channels are all saying the same exact thing, like, tell me that's not pushing narrative. They all have the same script. It's all under, 5 networks all together, and part of the networks are ran by, these are also ran by the government. The government has taken over. So yeah. So they help push those narratives. So yeah. But we're in a new year. Yay. 2025. Will we survive? So yeah. So yeah. News. Let's see here. Um, you know, a good example was when they were saying saying Taylor Swift is not a psyop, and they showed that one, and it was yeah, saying the same thing. Okay, so all right, so here we are. Okay, so here we go. Hardy's original bag well, after this crappy ad, no, I don't pay for it.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality,
all
balanced
fake.
Journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
It's all narrative.
But we are concerned about
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false news
has become all
Look
too
at that.
common on social media.
God, like, are you kidding me? Tell me. I mean, look, you see NBC, you see ABC, you see Fox News. You see there? I mean, it's all of them.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
ABC.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Crazy.
This is extremely
Tell me they're not
dangerous
pushing
to our
it.
democracy.
This is extremely
Tell me it's not
dangerous to our
scripted. This
democracy.
whole thing is
This
scripted. It's
extremely
all
dangerous to
scripted.
our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous
This
to our
is
democracy.
Deadspin, so
This
if you want
is
to check
extremely
that out.
dangerous to our democracy.
And this was 6 years ago.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This was a 6-year-old video. So think about that. That was 6 years ago. Do you think that they're not doing that now? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was a 6-year ago video showing all this, 6 years. I mean,
6:34. The time.
it's wild, dude. So yeah, I mean, this is the world that we live in. It's all, fake. It's all bull, BS, man. And the drone thing. The drones have been in the sky. I was seeing them back in the around 2020 actually. To be honest with you, I remember noticing them then. Because that was a time when everybody was like, watch the skies and all this kind of stuff. They're trying to keep us inside, and, all the theories that were going. So, my mind's going wild. And of course, being barricaded all the time, you have nothing else to do but what? You do some drugs, So, yeah. So, I mean, what else is there to do, So, yeah, you're going to have your conspiracy mind just running wild kind of thing, And, and I see, and I'm glad to see that people are starting to wake up, or people are seeing it. We still have a lot of people who are lost and clueless, are still NPCing in this world, and, if you can do that, I guess more power to you, but at the same time, you're unfortunately are distracted by everything else, all the BS, the narratives that they're pushing, this whole, fight between the left and the right, when it's all the same, instead of looking at, the puppet, in the front, you gotta look behind the curtain, man. This is, Wizard of Oz shit, man. You just look behind the curtain, you see that wizard back there, and realize at the end of the day, he ain't shit, And it's crazy. And it's not just us, it's everywhere. I mean, you've seen the videos of you know, I mean, they are super doing fake news in China. uh, I probably shouldn't even say anything about China. Okay, but yeah, um, and I'm just joking, by the way, China. Um, yeah, and China did a New Year drone show. um, but we're not gonna like, but you know what I'm saying? That's a little something to think about. Um, but yeah, but I've been seeing drones. The big ones, those are newer, or maybe they're coming down lower because I think they've been in the sky up there. I've been seeing them. People have been seeing them. Like, you know, I mean, they have. It's all like ways to be able to control us and watch us 24/7. It's to protect us. Yeah, protect us from you. No, actually, it's to keep us trapped by you. You know, um, there's the whole wall thing. If the wall is to keep us in and not just to keep people out, you know, and then there's, all these, the weather and you know, and this is all, I'm just kidding, by the way. I want people to know that these are all jokes, not to be taken seriously. Wink, wink. Um, but yeah, I mean, the weather machines, you know, they had dry ice back in the 50s. They were using it to manipulate weather. And if you think that they're only using dry ice now and they haven't tweaked it and maybe added stuff into that dry ice, or, you know, went or something that they found that they can use, you know, but yeah, don't think that they're just using dry ice, and then you got the contrails, and they're saying, oh, it's just, the exhaust from the planes. Okay, but why are the planes flying back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you know, in just, like this plane's going this way and it's going that way. There's four of them in the sky at the same time, and they're spreading the spray. And then we find out that they're being paid to do so. They're hiring commercial planes, not commercial planes, but private, private planes to do this for them. Hooking up the thing onto and everything, to spray the chemical in the sky. And then you have the cloud machines, that's why it's always cloudy. And it was a little bit suspicious, that fog, Um, we had actually some fog here too, and it rained the next day. And then I'm hearing this thing about smart dust. I'm not sure if the fog was smart dust, but it could be, because they're saying that the smart dust has capabilities of maybe uh, like they can use it for surveillance. They can map a scene, map it out. So um, apparently they use it for war. Um, so yeah. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. But yeah. Main thing is, point is, yeah, they're um, definitely pushing a narrative for sure. Um, Definitely. But anyway, whatever happens, man, I know one thing. It's a new year. I'm going to try to enjoy myself. I'm not going to let the world get my spirits down. Actually, I feel like there is a change coming, and it's going to be a positive one. Um, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with you know, but yeah. But either way, I'm going to enjoy the time that I have on this earth left, and I hope that you all do the same. And I'm going to continue to love each and every one of you, you know, despite anything. I don't care about, you know, whatever your beliefs, whatever your, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Point is, you're human. I'm human. And we're all in this together. And we're all suffering. We're all being scammed by the system. We're all being ran by the system. And they are pushing on us now harder than they ever have. If you think that they were pushing us into isolation, separating us, keeping us disconnected from each other, because if you don't think that there are, the energy has power, like energy's all around us, we're all energy, and at the end of the day, we're all one. If you believe in a higher consciousness, I'm not going to say a God, that just sounds too human. But there is definitely a higher consciousness, and we are a part of that higher consciousness. And we are that higher consciousness, yeah. And I know this for a fact, um, so yeah. You are an aspect of God consciousness. I am an aspect of God consciousness. Everybody is an aspect of God consciousness. This is how God is able to experience life as a human being on this planet, because we are the God consciousness. God is us and we are God. And I know that sounds wild, you guys. But if you know, and you know what I mean for the ones that are truly awake. And I'm not saying woke, I mean awake. People that already knew. Like, I knew that the system was corrupt ever since I was young. Um, I'm Cherokee, I'm quarter Cherokee. It's on both my mom and my dad. It's on both sides. So, we used to go to the Cherokee Indian Reservation when I was young. And I learned about the true history, Native American history, or, at least part of the truth. Because, even it's all, there's a lot of hidden truths there that they don't tell you, that you have to find out on your own. You got to look and see the true story, it's just crazy, that they are actively trying to separate us. They want us to be apart, because if we're apart and we're fighting each other, then guess what? We're not paying attention to what they're doing behind the scenes, and they're telling us what they're doing, it's wild, okay, so yeah, it's insane, man. Okay, let's see. They're wanting to put us all in like a little confined place. There's a movie. What's it called? Is it called Atlas? I want to say it's called Atlas. It has Holly Berry and Tom Hanks, and basically it is the reincarnation of a person's life. Them experiencing this, different lives. It's the same person, and they give you a pretty good glimpse of what, like basically, okay, China is the ideal for the entire, that's what that's what they really want, because they are, they have their people, it's insane, so but then, we're looking at a pre-Terminator era, pre matrix. You know, I mean, the virtual glasses and everything that they're doing, they're actually trying to engulf us into a virtual world. I mean, if you stay on the internet all day, you're already living in a virtual world. But it is based on reality, or the reality that we're in currently. I can definitely say that there was definitely a shift. I would say probably around 2020, which is probably part of the reason why they tested the waters to see how we would react to the little panty, I don't want to say the words because I'm not trying to get this canceled. It might already be because I did say the word China, and if you say anything about China, they don't like that. It causes problems. But they have complete control of their people, man. I mean, that's what they're wanting to do here. They're wanting to do the same thing to us. They want to do the same thing all over the world, you know. And, these are all jokes, by the way. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're looking at that being worldwide. We're going to be, it's going to be like some Demolition Man. Basically, it's going to start out, this is what I'm seeing. We're looking at Demolition Man, right? Then we're looking at Terminator, because the robots are going to be doing everything for us. I mean, we're already heading that way, They're already ready. They're already putting them in people's homes now, testing them. And then the virtual reality, we already have the glasses stuff. Now, right now, we're still in the early phases, and it's like, but it's not going to take long. I mean, they're pushing into 2030. That's where we're trying to reach, 2030 goal. So, yeah, in the next 5 years, yeah, I definitely see, some ominous things come. But that's only if we allow it to happen. And half of us are and half of us aren't. There's not really a whole lot I can do. I can just speak on it. Maybe make somebody aware if nobody doesn't even pay attention. It's funny because, you go on the internet and you see all these conspiracy theory TikToks, stuff like that. And yeah, you see there's a lot of people talking about it, but it's only those people within that conspiracy theory community. People outside of that community have no clue as to what's going on. Well, and I'm not saying that like they're dumb or anything, but they're not seeing it. They're not paying attention to it. And when they see conspiracy theory, they automatically, some people automatically become dismissive, and they're going to, disconnect almost as soon as you say the word conspiracy. And they're just going to be like, whatever, But, as you all know, the CIA is the one that came up with the term conspiracy theory in the first place, and it was based on the JFK assassination. And it turned out that conspiracy theory was, you guessed it, true. So yeah, conspiracy theory is based on truth. Might have ran wild because all the things gets passed around, and if you know the experiment, if I whisper something to you and then you whisper to the person sitting next to you, and then that person whispers, and it goes around a circle, by the time it gets back to me, it's going to be something completely different from what I said. It might be something similar, but it'll be something different. It'll change slightly, And with conspiracy theories, that happens. And a lot of times, some of that's done on purpose just to keep it at a minimum of people finding out, So there is that, and a lot of times they can push the narrative by throwing truth with some lies, sprinkle some lies in with some truth. Yeah, to make it more believable, It's just what they do, So yeah, it's a sad, crazy world we live in, and it's. I mean, this is a story that's old as time. I mean, it's just history repeating itself. Um, just with advanced technology, but supposedly the ancients they had some modern technology too. There's theories of electricity, the pyramids,